Hey YouTubers, it's Charlie. So finally my Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. episode 2 video. So much awesome stuff happening this week. And again, Fitz is like the repeat top performer in the episode. He is killing it in this first couple of episodes. Marvel also just confirmed Ant-Man 2. It's going to be Ant-Man and the Wasp. And they have a couple untitled films that they just put on the board. So I'm going to talk about that after S.H.I.E.L.D. stuff. So be sure to stick around to the end of the video. But getting into S.H.I.E.L.D. stuff, just careful for spoilers from the episode if you haven't seen it yet. Starting with top 5 WTF moments. Number 5. We find out what May has been doing this whole time. She has been hanging out with her father, who looks like is estranged from her mother, who is also pretty hilarious. If you look at this from a Joseph Campbell perspective, hero's journey, May is just like refusing the call. So obviously now we can start to find out what her arc is going to be this season. We don't quite know that yet, they haven't spelled that out. She's kind of like a big sister figure to Skye, but she also isn't super hot on the idea of all these Inhumans. I would say, in terms of people inside S.H.I.E.L.D. and inside Team Coulson that like Inhumans and people that don't like them, I would say she's closer to Mac. Mac doesn't hate them either, but he sounds like he really doesn't want to have anything to do with them if he doesn't have to. I'd be amazed if you didn't recognize the actor that played May's father. He shows up so many times. He's like a comedy ninja. He just shows up for a little while out of nowhere, is hilarious, and then just vanishes into the night. He does a lot of voiceover work too. Probably the last biggest thing that you recognize him from is from Kung Fu Panda. He played Po's father, the duck father. I just love the idea that May, special agent, comes from a family of special agents, even though you wouldn't know it just from looking at her father. But a really interesting pattern is formed here. We know what May does now when she is just completely fried as a human being. She goes back and hangs out with her parents. As badass as the cavalry is, she is still a human. Isn't that what most people would do? Like when their life just completely crumbles around them, like they don't know what to do. They're like, okay, I'm just gonna go stay with my parents for a few days. I could talk about May all day, including the fact that she looks younger than the 20-somethings on the show, despite the fact that Ming-Na is pushing 50. Like, that's how amazing she looks. But on to number 4, another missing character comes back. Ward is back, and he needs a ton of cash. Enter new character from the Whedonverse. You definitely heard right. This is Baron von Strucker's son. Remember, he was killed during Avengers Age of Ultron. He sounds really American, even though his father's European, so I'm guessing he was just raised abroad. The way he explains it, he knew his father was a part of Hydra, but he wasn't allowed to participate in any Hydra shenanigans. Don't you just love how Ward plays on his daddy issues to bring him to the dark side? Your father's seat at the table now belongs to you. Reach out and take it. Like, that's why he told him to kill that other Hydra agent. He's like, go ahead, take it. It's yours. Do it. Do the thing. It's a great story arc. I really hope that it pans out. I think we'll find out by the mid-season finale. Usually that's when they course correct, like before the back half. Like if things don't pan out, they try to leave room to adjust the story. So it's like, if the storyline goes nowhere, they can kill him off if they want. But this actor is actually from Joss Whedon's Much Ado About Nothing. He was one of the younger actors in that. Of course, the Whedonverse, very big, very famous for raising new talent out of obscurity. Nathan Fillion, probably the best example of that. So Junior Von Strucker, now firmly embedded with S.H.I.E.L.D. via the psychiatrist at his school. The Blair character is interesting. I do like the idea of shows psychoanalyzing themselves, as long as it doesn't get too literal. But just think of him as like a narrative device for the show to comment on itself. Like as he psychoanalyzes the characters, he's actually psychoanalyzing the direction the show's going. The biggest part of that are these Secret Warriors. And yes, he totally mentioned the name Secret Warriors, but they said that they were doing Secret Warriors a long time. So it's like that Family Guy joke where, Peter's pointing at the screen and it's like, oh, they said the name of the movie in the movie. They did the thing. I gotta hijack my number 3 WTF moment for that product placement though. That Jaguar ad they did in the middle of the episode. That was total product placement. Some of you guys might have picked up on that too. If you rewatch it, listen to Ward's speech. He's basically describing a really awesome car, like they want you to buy the Jaguar. It's an F-Type. It's actually a pretty cool car. We need a new image. The funny thing is that during the Super Bowl, they did a big Jaguar ad with a bunch of British actors. Tom Hiddleston was one of them. It was like a Jaguar villains ad. It was a joke about how really stereotypical big British villains love Jaguars because they're obsessed with power. It's totally sinister, so of course it's appropriate that they would use Hydra to create product integration for the show. I think it's hilarious, but on to number 2, guest star Asgardian, who is in prison, voluntarily it looks like. I love when they broke him out, he was just like, okay, let's do it. He literally opened the bars as if it was just a door. They've kind of explained this in the Thor movies, like the difference in the physiology between Asgardians and humans. Asgardians typically live about 5,000 years. They're not like celestial beings or anything like that. They're just highly evolved humanoids that live on a different plane. Their physiology is also a lot more resilient, so they heal wounds a lot faster. That's why Loki's able to eat a blast from the destroyer gun and not die. Now they captured him during season 2, but I like his performance this season better. It's a little more tongue-in-cheek, there's just a little more comedy. He really likes living on Earth, so he's kinda just trying to hide out, not make too much noise. That's why he doesn't try to kill Coulson the first chance he gets, just because he just wants to be left alone, just to have his fun. Most of the scientific concepts they mentioned during his scenes were references to Thor movies, like the Einstein-Rosen bridge. That's the Rainbow Bridge. Speaking of which, number one WTF moment, they get Simmons back after realizing that the monolith is a doorway to another planet on the other side of the universe. We're all asking the exact same question here. What is the planet that Simmons was sent to? Is it Morag? Is it another Kree outpost? Is it something we're going to see during Guardians of the Galaxy? What I'll say right now is I definitely do not think that it is Atalan. I think that it is just another Kree outpost. No, I do not think that we'll see this planet specifically mentioned during Guardians of the Galaxy 2, but I do think that they will find out where it is on the show. After they came back, the monolith exploded. That's just to let you know that they're not just going to be jumping back and forth between planets all the time. Why then would the writers send Simmons away to another planet in the hiatus and then bring her back so fast? Like, what's the point if they're bringing her back so fast? On the surface, what I think is going on is that they just want to incorporate the timeless nature of the Inhumans. They're an ancient Kree experiment that they abandoned eons ago. But they left their equipment lying around, it still worked, so people continue to use it, so the Inhumans continue to evolve on their own, sheltered from humanity. So I think last season, Jai Ying's Inhumans colony is just the beginning. I think that we'll learn a lot more about Inhuman society. Not the royal family, mind you. I don't think we'll see any royal family members till the Inhumans movie, which is years and years away. I don't think we're going to see Atalan, but I do think that we'll hear about it. We've gotten a taste of Kree Outpost. I think they're just like slowly raising that bar. Eventually, we'll probably learn that Lash comes from another group of Inhumans. So, maybe mid-season finale, maybe second half of the season, we'll learn about them. He wasn't really present in this episode, but I think they're just laying the groundwork to explain where he comes from and why he's doing what he's doing, like why he's going around killing all these new Inhumans. But I'm so happy that Simmons and Fitz are together again. I feel like they work best when they're together. If you remember last season, it was all about Fitz trying to survive his trauma. Now it's all about Simmons trying to survive her trauma. So where Simmons was trying to help Fitz last season, now it's going to be the other way around. Some of you have asked me if I think that Simmons is an Inhuman. I actually do think that she has Inhuman DNA in her, but I don't know that the show will ever take her through Terrigenesis. The crazy thing about the Asgardian is that he didn't seem to have any kind of idea what activated the monolith. I think that it's activated by people with Inhuman DNA. But let me know in the comments, that planet that Simmons went to, do you think that that is where Lash is from? And do you think that we're going to see another monolith somewhere on Earth this season? But the episode was great. I still keep expecting them to raise their game. I think it's going to get even better. It's the same with Arrow and The Flash too, vastly better than they were in previous seasons. Just to kind of move things into Marvel movie territory, I know I haven't done a Marvel movie video in a little while, but Marvel just confirmed that Ant-Man 2 is going to be Ant-Man and the Wasp. That's going to be the title. It's going to drop July 6th, 2018. I know that's like a long ways off, but they're just confirming that it's going to be a thing. Evangeline Lilly will be in full battle attire. Just expect them to tweak the costume from the end of Ant-Man. Like if you saw the post-credit scene with the Wasp suit, just expect them to tweak that a little bit. They also announced a couple of untitled movies even further out than that. Now here's what I think is going on. They're probably just clearing space for a Captain Marvel sequel in case that's successful, and a Hulk movie if they get the distribution rights back from Universal. Now, the reason that you haven't seen a solo Hulk film yet is not because Marvel doesn't want to do it. They definitely want to do another Hulk film, especially because Mark Ruffalo is so awesome. Universal still holds the distribution rights for Hulk films, and that's kind of like an indefinite thing. There's no end date on that. Disney is like one of the largest film distribution companies in the world. They don't need anyone else to release their films, so they don't want to give away a giant chunk of the profits to other companies, so they're not going to release another Hulk film until they get the distribution rights back. So when you're thinking about these untitled movies, just think about sequels to the brand new movies that are coming out. Like you have Doctor Strange, they're probably clearing path for a Doctor Strange sequel should it happen, and I definitely think it will. Here's a good question for you guys though. They have Doctor Strange and Captain Marvel, and then now like the Wasp and Ant-Man coming back. Who else do you guys want to see them introduce in the Marvel Universe? I know we all want to see She-Hulk, we want to see Spider-Woman, but I don't think they're going to do She-Hulk until they do another solo Hulk film, and I don't think that they're going to do Spider-Woman until the new Spider-Man franchise launches and is proven successful, which I definitely think it will be. But we can talk more about future Marvel films in another video, so be sure to subscribe to get everything. I have an Arrow Flash Q&A that I'm going to be posting next, and then there's a couple of trailer videos, so I might shuffle those around just a little bit. We finally got a Jessica Jones teaser with some Purple Man in it, so I actually, you know what, I might do that next, just because I'm doing this Marvel video right now. While you guys wait for all that stuff to post, you can click here for last night's episode of Arrow if you guys haven't seen that video yet, and you can click here for all my Jessica Jones trailer videos. Thank you so much for watching, everybody. Let's high five. I'll see you guys tonight.